are reporting unexplained mysteries.
911, what are you reporting?
I got a strange going on out here. Something just killed my dog.
Something killed your dog?
My dog went flying through the air over the trees. I don't know how it did it.
From baffling missing 411 cases that leave us questioning reality to the elusive and legendary creatures like Bigfoot, we are here to discuss it all.
By God, if a hand come from the other side of that fence, grabbed this thing by the head and neck, just one-timed it.
1 o'clock in the morning, I'm awakened by lights. Bright lights. I'm talking about, Josh, the lights were so bright, it looked like daytime, so I thought it was the morning.
There's just something going around, attacking our sheep. And my grandma used to talk about this guy, Ketso, that means, Bigfoot in our language, so.
If you have ever found yourself captivated by the unexplained or intrigued by the mysterious, you are in the right place. Welcome to Mysteries Unknown.
What is up, everybody? What's going on, Daniel?
Hey, brother, what's going on?
Oh, my gosh, man. What a day. What a day, guys. Welcome to another live of Mysteries Unknown. Kind of a last-minute thing. I am traveling. I'm in Colorado this week with my beautiful wife, and I'll tell you guys why later on in the show. But me and Daniel wanted to get a live on here. It's been a minute, and, of course, when you travel, all kinds of stuff happens. I don't know if you guys had problems with your cell phones today, but I guess we call it the great AT&T crash, Daniel. I don't know what you call it, but
no, we're not owning that, dude. That's global, and it's not. I heard it was global. Microsoft, and it was a whole big IT issue. Yeah.
Yep. Everywhere, Microsoft. So, anyways, it really jacked things up for us today. Especially we're out of town traveling. My GPS wasn't working. Nothing was working. So, anyways, got back to the hotel. Internet wasn't working. Just all kinds of crazy stuff. So, I don't have my game together today, but I heard that Daniel was keeping you guys entertained in the chat. But the good thing is I've got my coffee. So what do you got? What do you got tonight, Daniel? Mountain Dew?
You know what?
You got you Mountain Dew. Always.
Well, I'd rather have a Mick Ultra, but, I don't think you're allowed to have that on YouTube, so.
Daniel's, listen, guys, I've got my mic isn't working because I'm traveling. I couldn't get it hooked up to my desk, so I'm using my AirPods. If it sounds a little off tonight, that's why. So pardon that. But Daniel sounds really good, man. He's got himself a new mic. Why don't you say something to us in a Southern slang, man?
What? Just anything?
Huh? No, I'm just saying. Say something in a Southern slang, man.
Hey, y'all. Y'all need to be looking in the chat right now. We got Mr. Harley with us. We got Bo Ballard in here. We got Miss Sharon Ford in here. That's Bo's sister. So she's all up in here. She's going to give us a listen. And we got Alexandra in here. We got Janet. Jesus is King is in the house. We got Miss Shroom. We got Poppy Power all up in here. Holy snot, y'all. We got a bunch of folks. Let's go.
That's great. That's great. He does that accent so good. But I'm just excited to come on here and do another live. It's been a minute. Things have been really crazy. So a couple of housekeeping things. Yes, Taff is here. Taff, good to see you, man. He texted me. He goes, so I see you had a live schedule, and I was trying to put all this stuff together, and I didn't get a chance to text him back yet. But so we're live. But there's a couple of housekeeping things I want to talk to you guys about. If you guys remembered, last month we had a deal. If you signed up as a $2.99 member or above, you've got to. We're going to send out a care packet. My wife has been working on. So we almost have everything ready to go. So don't worry, we're getting that sent out. We've had to move, and then we had some issues with our PO box, things like that. So working on that, almost done with it. Should have those things out by the end of next week. So I will make sure to send you guys an email. What we're going to do as well is we're going to extend that out for 10 more days. So if you join tonight, as a member for $2.99 or above, you're going to get a welcome package to Mysteries Unknown. But I got a really, really cool announcement that I want to make. And I guess I'll hang on and wait and say that a little bit later on in the show. Man, dude, what a great guy. Lewis is here, man. Everybody say hi to Lewis. You didn't have to do that, Lewis, man. I appreciate it.
Thanks, brother.
Yeah, if you guys have not seen the last video that we dropped Monday, you need to go check it out. Lewis is a great guy. He has had all kinds of experiences out there in California and seen a lot of wild stuff. So we're going to have him back on the show. He's got a lot more that he wants to unpack. But if you're here tonight, if you're in the chat, thanks for being here. We're going to be talking about some more Bigfoot stuff, some missing 411 cases, and maybe kind of the correlation between that. And then just a lot of different stuff. We're going to be chatting about Bigfoot, probably Dogman, you name it. We're going to be doing it. So, and hanging out with you guys. So we appreciate everybody being here tonight. We're just excited to do this. But I hope everybody's had a good week. Let us know in the chat where you're at, where you're from. If this is your first time, we are glad you are here. Me and Daniel both have had encounters with Bigfoot, and if you would like to hear our encounters, let us know. Drop a 1 or a 2. If you want to hear my encounter, drop a 1. If you want to hear Daniel's, drop a 2 in the comments, and we'll get into those tonight. If you're open to it, Daniel, I didn't even ask you, but
sure. Hey, did you see Raging Prophet? It's 3:20 a.m. Bro, where are you at? Or
wow.
Man, where are you at?
Yeah, that is awesome, man. That's really early. Early in the morning.
Here. Oh, listen, 1 and 2, 1 and 2.
1 and 2. I think I saw a comment that said, let me go back here. Janet says her husband is from Colorado. That's awesome. What part? We are in, oh man, like we're just out in the middle of nowhere actually, but it's a really pretty state. But I do miss my home state. Not gonna lie. I love where I'm at. But anyways, so Jesus is King says 1. Okay, we'll get into that from Denver. Denver's a pretty place, but it's so big. Hey, I'm just an old country guy. I don't like big cities, man. What's up, man?
So, Janet, I used to live in Aurora, Colorado, and when I was stationed in Cheyenne, Wyoming at F.E. Warren Air Force Base, I used to drive on down to Fort Collins, Colorado, and hit up Fort Ram. Get this, penny beer nights on Wednesday. So for $5, $5 cover charge for guys, girls got in for free, and then I just spent $1 on beer. Yep. Wow.
It's a different world over here, man. Like it's a different world. It really, really, really is. I was listening to an encounter on the way up here, on the drive up here, about something that happened really close to, I think it was Breckenridge. I can't remember the name. But there's somebody up here, and I wish I could remember the name of the place, but they actually give tours, guided tours, where they'll take you out and supposedly get you an encounter. So that would be kind of neat to do, but I can't remember. But there's a lot of country out here. I was thinking on the way up here, man, it would be the perfect place for Bigfoot to be. But anyways, so we got a lot of people in here from Denver, from overseas. You guys are awesome. Harley, it's good to see you back, man. I hope you're doing well. I don't know if you're up to talking about it, but he came across some wild stuff out in the area that he's at, man. He's really carrying on Scott Carpenter's legacy. So if you guys haven't followed him on his channel, you need to go do that. But we'll get into our encounters a little later on. Let's see. Have you seen the Rocky Mountain Sasquatch documentary? I have not seen that, but I would love to watch that. So good to see you again, Kevin. I'll have to check that out. But
he's from northern Germany.
Well, you've been there, haven't you?
Guten Abend, mein Freund. Ich bin Daniel. Wie heißt du?
Hey,
Alles
California Dave is here. What's up, man? Good to see you. Let's see here. Harley says he went out last night, heard a roar unlike anything I've ever heard, and had my good friend Rick with me. He has come across some wild stuff. I'm going to show you real quick one of the photos that he sent us. Not the most recent one, but this is one he sent me a few months back that he found on the property. Look at that, guys. You're looking at one creature there. The other one's just circled so you can see it, but that's some kind of dog creature. I personally think that's Dogman he captured, but I don't know, man. Pretty wild. He's his encounter's actually on my show where he comes in on and talks about it. So pretty crazy stuff, man.
Well, you're showing that picture, and I'm glad I didn't send you what he sent me.
You did send me, I think.
No, bro. He sent me some stuff like an
Oh.
hour ago,
Oh.
and you having all the issues you had, you wouldn't have time to get everything loaded up. But I'm telling you, man.
Well, I will tell you, Harley, if you're okay with us sharing that, send it over. I'll get it up there. Definitely get it up there. Man, I'll tell you, here's the thing about Bigfoot for me, and you guys might agree, but that the deeper you get into this, the more questions you have than answers, and the deeper the rabbit hole gets, because it is just a wild world. I know when I started talking about my encounters and I started to mention them to people, it just dug a hole, and I just am still trying to figure this stuff out, man. It's a crazy, crazy world, but he says go for it. So Daniel, if you want to email us to me, man, I'll try to get those uploaded. But
I
just from Pennsylvania. Yeah,
I just sent you one that he sent me like an hour ago, and he was referring to something that is below what I circled in white. And then when I showed him what I circled in white, I'd send it to you in our little messenger group that we have, you and I have.
Okay, cool. Let me go open that up.
But he's like, yeah, you'll see this, and my eyes were immediately drawn to what I have outlined in white.
Okay.
And he's like, no, the object right below that. And I'm like, wait, what? And then I started looking at him and go, oh, okay.
Okay.
So,
well, I've not seen this. I've not seen this. So here we go, guys. Let's pop this up. We'll look at this together. I've not seen this. Let me remove this comment so you guys can see everything here. Man, what is that?
And could you enlarge it?
Let me go back and see if I can crop it in, because I can't do it once I have it uploaded. Oh, wow. Yeah, there's definitely like a conical looking head right there.
Okay, if you're looking, you see like
under the circle.
The kind of under the circle is what he's pointing at.
Right.
Now what I outlined, if you're looking at the picture how I'm looking at it, to the right of that picture, or to right of like that like round part of it, that's like where it looks like a head's leaning out. You see a brow ridge, you see a right eye, you see you see the bridge of the nose and the nostril. So
dude, that's crazy, man. That is so wild. Should I show them the picture that he sent you with the tree?
Oh, dude, that 18-inch spread, 4 inches between two.
All right, guys, check this out. Now, I will just lay the groundwork for this. He has seen Dogman. He's had a really close encounter with Dogman. And if you have not heard his story, either go to his channel, go to my channel. You can find it all over the place. Listen to his encounter. He stumbled upon an area where he's constantly finding stuff and he's constantly researching. And, he has been a friend of the show since the very beginning. And he's a straight up great guy. And if he tells you something, you can take it to the bank. But I'm going to share this picture with you guys. And I think this is, it lends credence to what we talk about with Dogman. This is just me, man. I think maybe that's probably what it was. But let me get it pulled up here. All right. Okay. Well, it's loading. The internet's slow, so if it glitches out tonight or the show sounds different, guys, just bear with us. I'm traveling. I'm not at home, so I don't have all my stuff. But here you go. Check that out. Now, I don't know how much of that he explained to you, but dude, what the crap, man?
Dude, we talked about that, and I asked him. I said, "What do you think it looked like? Do you think it was made, from the front of the tree, or what?" He goes, "I'm thinking it's made from like it was reaching around, and it just ripped up." And that's exactly what I was thinking. So, yeah, that's pretty crazy, man.
That is wild, man. That is definitely wild.
Now, again, I'm not saying that is a Dogman or a Bigfoot claw, but it doesn't look like it's made by an axe. It doesn't look like it's made by a saw. If I know that part of the country, because again, I lived in Tennessee, so my southern accent isn't really a impersonation. I can bring it out of me if I need to. I don't think that there are grizzly bears or Kodiak
Right.
bears or polar bears in that part of that part of Tennessee.
No.
I know black bears do not get that big. So if someone out there knows what that is, that could potentially make those claw marks or scratches or gouges in the tree, enlighten me.
Please let us know. Yeah. Yeah. Because that just doesn't make sense, man. I don't know of any other predator type creature in eastern Tennessee that's going to do something like that, man. I mean, I know they have a lot of stuff. Yeah, that's a good comment. Claw marks, period. I mean, that's definitely a predator. You can at least say that. That's definitely 100% predator. So pretty crazy stuff. I know, guys, that Daniel has got a lot of different stories lined up for us tonight. He's got a lot of different stuff to talk about. So we're really, really excited to get in some of these stories. But just want to take a minute to say thanks for the support, guys. Thanks for being here. Thanks for liking and subscribing to the channel and just, giving people a safe platform to share these stories and these encounters. So just to rehash tonight, we're going to be talking about some missing 411 cases, some Bigfoot encounters, probably some Dogman stuff. Then we're going to kind of go into my encounter, then Daniel's encounter, and then got a pretty big announcement, something that I've been working on kind of behind the scenes. I've mentioned it a couple of times, and I'll talk about that maybe a little bit later on the show. But I'm excited to hear what you got. What? Please have coffee.
You better highlight Janet's comment. That is.
Here's the thing. Okay. Here's the problem. That's all the coffee I have right now, guys. That is it. But
you know what?
I do have some root beer right here, so I think we'll be okay.
No, that's not enough. You guys, he can step away and go refill a cup or get a couple more cups. Because here's the thing, okay? I've got one bottle.
Yeah.
And then I have two more bottles.
Now I will say that, you get called out all the time. There's a member that calls you out for drinking Mountain Dew. She tells you it's bad for you.
Well, I'm 53 years old. I'm gonna die someday, so
you might as well drink your Mountain Dew.
Listen. I've had people shoot at me. I've had people. Well, I told you that story.
Yeah,
where that dude shot me in my chest, and
it's wild, man.
Yeah.
I think my grandpa. It's funny because my grandpa was, he was a hero to me, and I loved him dearly. But he was, way into his 90s, and he would eat whatever he wanted and do all that. But he called me up one day, and he's like, "Hey," he said, "I'm sitting here looking at my credit card statement." He goes, "I got as much credit as I want." He's like, "Let's just go buy as much as we want and not pay it." He goes, "What are they going to do to me?" So I'm 90 years old. But anyways, that's kind of how my grandpa was, man. He's a great, great guy. But anyways.
Your grandpa's my hero.
Dude, he was awesome, man. He was awesome. But so we're kind of all over the place tonight. If you're just jumping on and watching, man, I'm traveling. I'm in Colorado. I don't have all my equipment with me, so this is a little different. But we figured you guys we better get a show out there than not, because I'm a perfectionist, and so sometimes I got to put past that and just remember this is about the stories and all that. So if the audio's off, I sound funny. At least Daniel sounds great, man. His mic sounds amazing.
I appreciate it, man. I'm really glad that hey, Amazon days hit at the right time. So I got like an $80 mic for like $40.
That's a great deal, man. That is a great deal. So do you want to go into our encounters, man, or do you want to read some of these encounters that you've been working on? What are you thinking, man?
I'm good with whatever you want to do, man. I mean, I only have one missing 411, so whoever jumped in, I think AO or double AO, or I wish I knew how to say your name. That's the only one I could really find, because when I was looking through what I have, a bunch of kids, and you guys.
Yeah.
I honestly, I'm just to be honest with you guys, I can't do kids.
It's hard, man.
That's one reason why I did not become a police officer in the civilian world. That's why I did not pursue a career in firefighting, which I was looking into. I could not handle something to have to do with a child or anything like that. So I found one very intriguing 411 case when I read it, I had to read it 2 more times just to make sure I was reading what I was reading. It's one of the most intriguing ones that I came across. So
Yeah, it's I'm right there with you, man. That's one of the things that I regret most with my law enforcement career is some of the cases that we worked involving children, because it's an adult, man. Like, they've had their life, you know what I mean? It's one thing to see something, but man, kids are completely different, and those are the cases that still haunt me today, man. That's what keeps me up at night. But so yeah, and unfortunately, a lot of them, man, they're hard to find, and they are related to that. But I want to ask before he reads this story, leave it in the comments. What do you think is the probability of Bigfoot being involved with missing 411 cases? What percentage of the cases that are in the U.S. do you think have to do with a cryptid, either big man? See, I'm not on top of my game. Bigfoot or Dogman? Which one do you guys think, and what percentage do you think? So,
bro, I think it's more Bigfoot.
Yeah,
it's just from the experience that I had. I don't think I've ever encountered a Dogman. The closest thing I did was that giant wolf that I saw coming out of that cemetery up in Michigan, up in the UP.
Yeah, that's a pretty scary experience. But Chio Rio is a ex-law enforcement police radio dispatcher undercover here. Awesome, man. Sounds like you've done it all, kind of like me, man. I never dispatched, but I did everything else. But thanks for your service. I also want to say, man, anybody out there that's military, law enforcement, you served our community in any way, man, we really appreciate you guys. You guys are going to find support here on this channel. We're all about that. So if that's what you are, if that's what you've done, let us know in the comment section. We appreciate all the service. So let's see. We've got somebody that says, let me go back up here. Jesus is King says 5% to 10. Yeah, I could see that. Janet says 20% Bigfoot, Dogman 60%. I will say that if it is cryptid related, it's probably heavily leaning into Dogman, because these things are just pure evil. Just ask Harley. He's seen one face to face. So let's see. 100% government involved. That's a good response, because who's to say they're not involved with Bigfoot or Dogman? I know I've talked to several people that, I know me and you've talked a lot about this, and there's things sometimes, if you guys send us stuff, there's a lot of stuff we won't share, but man, I know a lot of people now are starting to see government vehicles pop up on their property, weird vehicles out in the middle of nowhere where they're looking for these things. So it makes you wonder, man. It really makes you wonder if they're not heavily involved. So, but
for sure.
Elizabeth says her 3 grandchildren are in the Marines and Air Force. Well, thank them for their service for us, man. We wouldn't be here today without that. So, got another one. Former 911 dispatcher and volunteer EMT firefighter, and her daughter is now an EMT. Awesome. Thanks for your service.
I'm going to tell you guys right now that the dispatchers, unsung heroes, because the horrors that they hear on a daily basis. I have a buddy of mine who I worked with for 20 years at AT&T, and then he left for a different job, and he became a 911 dispatcher, and he did that for a year, and he had to leave the job. He got one call that was so horrible that he in the middle of his shift, he had to leave. He just could not take it. So
it's tough. It's tough, man. I've got a lot of respect for dispatchers. I know we'll get into some Bigfoot stuff, guys. Don't worry. We're getting there. But man, dispatchers they're heroes, man, because that's your lifeline. A lot of new law enforcement, they'll get out there on patrol and they look down on them, but they don't realize that that's their bloodline, man. That's their lifeline. You call for help. You want somebody who's going to know where you're at, on top of their game. So thanks again to everybody who has served this country. You guys are all amazing. So a lot of comments. Now, this is an intriguing comment. Check that comment out, Daniel, from AAO. Because some of us come back.
I have no idea because some of us come back. What are you referring to? One of these days, guys, I want to share that story. It's really incredible. But, let's just say that it's... Is it one that you personally dealt with?
Her, yes, she has. She has.
Hey,
so,
okay, yeah.
But, yeah. I'll tell you, it's not easy to come forward and talk about this stuff, guys. But we're working on. We want to give you guys a safe platform to do that and to come on here and share your experiences, because it helped. I know it helped me when I shared mine and talk about it. And every time I talk about it now, it's a little easier. So, yeah. So.
And I'm just going to let you guys know, if you guys ever watch what I say in the comments, I normally try to be very respectful of everybody's comments. I try to comment on everything or give a thumbs up. But if I see someone just coming straight out and just being straight nasty to anybody, you've got my promise here right now. Oh,
no.
I will fire them up.
Yeah.
I don't like bullies. Me and my brother used to beat up bullies in high school. So.
Yeah, there's no place for that here, man. There's no place for that. No place for that at all. So we don't. That's not something we're going to put up with, man. This is a safe place for people. So
Sharon, 100%. 100%. That's Bo's sister.
Yeah, is it okay? Yeah, I can tell you right now that they're 100% demonic. They are evil. Yeah, not good. Not good. There's not a doubt in my mind that that's what those things are. And you look into the eyes of one of these creatures, and there's nothing there. We have a couple of Dogman stories, some audios, that we can play later on in the show if you guys want to listen to them. They're pretty scary. Maybe we can talk Daniel into keeping his light on for some of these, because he usually turns them off.
It's not going to happen. I'm sorry, it's not going to happen. So you guys want to jump into some stuff real quick?
Yeah, we got one comment here. This is one that. So Braun Bros and Breyer, I hope I said that right, says, I wonder if Dogman and Boogers are soulless. Now, here's the thing, guys. Me and Daniel, I think what makes these lives so great is we don't see eye to, you might think so, but we don't see eye to eye on everything. And we each have different opinions about this stuff. I personally think that Bigfoot is Nephilim, fallen angel, something like that. So I definitely believe that they are not soulless. I think that they have some kind of, whatever. I don't know if you want to say an angel has a soul, but I definitely think these things are fallen angels or some kind of Nephilim bloodline. So that's my take on it. Dogman, I think Dogman's just a demon. I think they're just pure demonic. So,
and my take on it is that Josh is 100% wrong when it comes to Bigfoot, and 100% right with Dogman.
Yep, and everybody can have an opinion here. We're all about that, because none of us are experts. One of the things I look for, somebody comes on my show and they tell me that they're an expert, I generally try not to. I don't want those kind of interviews on the show, just because there's no such thing as an expert. Nobody's an expert. We can talk about a lot of different things and our opinions and things we've seen, but no, man. Let's see here. We got a good comment, and we're going to get to some stories, but this one really caught my attention. What about the Bigfoot and UFO connection? So I will tell you, when I get into my story, there is a connection there, and we'll talk about that. But I guess that's it. I don't want to share it just yet. We'll share it later on, and I'll tell you my thoughts on that. So Kevin, stick around, man, if you can, and we'll answer that. Unless Daniel has an answer right now, but
I'll tell you, until I actually see one step out of a UFO or see one in the vicinity of a UFO, I don't believe that, you guys. And again, this is strictly my view. I was just joking about when I said Josh is 100% wrong and 100% right. I don't have a definitive answer. The sighting that I saw a 100% flesh and blood creature. When I had one attack the trailer, the camper that I was living in as a kid, 100% a physical creature tried to tip over our camper, our trailer. At any time, I've never saw orbs around that property. I never saw any UFOs around that property. I had encounters around this property for a good year until we had to leave the property due to a car accident my father was involved in. And so, but yeah, Dogman, on the other hand, I don't know what to think about that. I think that's just a little bit, it's almost cringe for me, because it gets into a topic that I really do not want to really dig into. I know.
Yeah, it's one of those things that you know, the thing that I guess with Dogman that gets me is a lot of these people who have these encounters with the Dogman creature, these things follow them home. And it makes you wonder why that is. I don't know, man. I will tell you guys real quick. There's a story, and if you've not seen it, it's the only Dogman encounter on my show until Monday. Monday, I've got a really incredible interview with a gentleman that had a really scary Dogman encounter. I believe it was from North Carolina. I'll be dropping that on Monday at 11. You don't want to miss it. It's crazy, really wild stuff. But I had a guy come on my show, and he is in the military. He's actually deployed at the time when we did the interview, and he was on his way. He was on the Natchez Trace, if I've said that right. And he was on his way to go to Daniel, not boot camp. What is it where they go and drill?
Yeah, out on drill.
So he was out on drill, going to go to drill. Driving through the trace, and he said he kept seeing deer everywhere. Makes this corner. He sees this, what looks like he thinks it's a large cow, right? Closer he gets to it, the bigger it is. He realizes this is not a cow. It's a huge body. It's got a head of a dog. He said he makes the corner, and the thing stands up, grabs the tree, and just glares at him. And he just said that basically the way he felt, you could tell it wasn't good. So he got out of there, and he comes home, I think, 2 weeks later. And this story gets really crazy. And that's why I talk about prayer on my show a lot, because of this stuff. But anyways, he said that he's at home, and he hears something out of his window around 11:30 midnight, and he hears this breathing outside of his window. Sounds bad, feels this just evil presence. He pushes it off, goes to bed. So he wakes up the next morning. His grandpa's there. His grandpa's like, "Hey, did you see something or anything last night?" Because his grandpa couldn't sleep, and so he saw this black figure out in the front yard. But where the story gets wild, he says, is when he was leaving to go to work, he either called his dad or his dad called him, and he goes, "Hey, man, anything happened around 11:30 last night or so?" And he's like, "Well, yeah, matter of fact, something did." He goes, "Well, God woke me up and told me to pray for you that you weren't safe. So you tell me what you do with that." You know what I mean? Like, there's too much of that going on for those things to not be demonic, because why would praying matter if they weren't? You know what I'm saying? Like, why? You know what I mean? Like, obviously other than just protection, but there's too many encounters where you mention the name of Jesus or you pray and these things leave. So that's my take on it, man. I think they're pure evil. But anyways, hey, we got a new member, Kevin. Man, glad to have you aboard, dude.
Thank you.
Yeah, glad to have you aboard, man. Yeah, awesome. Carl is in the UK. He says, "Does anyone know anything here?" Do you, man? I've not heard too much.
Yes, I have. I am still looking for the story, but I've heard it within the community that there are pretty much like Sasquatch sightings in the UK. So once I find that, we will definitely talk about that.
Yeah, that'd be good. I'd love to hear that. So, and guys, if you have had an encounter or an experience that you would like me to talk about or come on the show or us to read on the show or Daniel to read on one of the lives, make sure to email me at mysteriesunknownpodcast@gmail.com. So, man, let's hear this missing 411 case, man, and kind of break that down.
Sure. Okay, so what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to bring it up. I was having, everybody was having issues today, so I had to look it up here at home, and, I couldn't do anything at work, so.
Gotcha.
So what I have here is, this one I found really intriguing. Okay, so this one takes place in 2007. A Miss Autorina or Trina Bonaventura. She went missing on, July 30th, 2007. She was 80 years old. She went missing from Yosemite National Park at the Volkswagen High Sierra Camp at the Yosemite National Park. So let's see here. How the story goes, it says, "Do not let it fool you. Do not let her age fool you." Trina was a very active woman for 80 years young. She had traveled from her home in Indiana to Yosemite and joined a group of friends that liked to hike the Volkswagen High Sierra Camp. The camp is a series of small cabins with wooden heaters, and at the base of a very rocky mountain. The cabins are set among a small outcrop of trees at elevation of 10,100 feet. The campsite's adjacent to Fletcher Lake, and it has a great view of the entire area of exposed granite. There are dozens of small lakes and ponds in the general region. On July 30th, Trina was with her group of hikers away from the primary camp when she decided to head back to check on food they had left behind. Hikers and campers are always concerned about their food stores at Yosemite because of what? The black bears. When the group returned to camp, they could not find Trina. A search of the route back and of the general area of the camp could not produce any evidence where she was still in the area. The National Park Service was contacted and advised of Trina's disappearance. On the 31st of July, there were 150 searchers working a grid pattern near the camp looking for her. There were several canine teams in the search area over the following 3 days. None of the teams found any scent. On August 5th through August 7th, weather conditions turned bad for the searchers. Thunderstorms, heavy rain, and wind hammered the area of the camp and hindered all search attempts. In documents that were reviewed that they found from the Freedom of Information Act, National Park Service representatives stated that they were searching a 100 square mile area for Trina and were not having any luck finding anything. They also stated that Trina was an experienced backpacker, that sometimes had memory lapses. An August 15th article on the NWITtimes.com website stated the following: the retired computer programmer worked out every morning at Omni 41 Fitness in Schererville, Indiana. This woman was in very good shape and was able to withstand harsh climates. The formal search for Trina ended in 7 days. On August 14th, the Associated Press ran an article stating the following: a ranger on routine patrol found her body around 5 p.m. Monday in a vegetated area beside a dry creek bed near Echo Creek. This area was just 3 miles from her camp by air, but unreachable via established trails. The previously mentioned NWITtimes.com article also had the following on Trina's body: rangers do not suspect homicide, and they did not find any clear evidence of how she died.
Oh man, that's wild. That's the thing about these cases is you always walk around. There's so many questions that don't fit inside of a box, man. They don't make sense, and especially with, coming from a background where we've searched for people. I personally have worked cases where you've been out in the woods and you've searched, and we know how that works, and it's like it doesn't make sense. So I don't know what you do with that. I don't know, man. I don't know. What do you think?
I was thinking, before when I was reading, I go, okay, you know what? She probably got lost. If she had the dizzy spells, okay. But then I started reading, then I saw that part where she was found was unreachable. Yeah. There were no established trails. Right. That's what really boggles my mind. Now, again, you guys, we are definitely not saying that Bigfoot did this. Dogman did this. But if you are a fan of this cryptid culture, you more than likely have done some kind of research and found that there are documented sightings and encounters of a large, hairy, cryptid-like creature other than a bear that is bipedal, and has been seen multiple times for decades in Yosemite.
I mean, there's always that, and that's the thing. And if I can find that map, I used to have it. I don't know if I kept it or not, where they were lined up. I think this is it. Look, check this out, guys. If this is the right one, this is a map of known Bigfoot sightings in the U.S. and then also missing 411 cases. And like he said, we're not saying that these are all like, oh, these are definitely Bigfoot or Dogman, but it makes you wonder, where there's smoke, there's fire, and if the shoe fits, you know what I mean? It just, you can't sit here and learn about this world and not think about at least some of these cases being related to that. But check this out, guys. I mean, that's pretty incredible. So that's U.S. Parks and Forest Service. Yeah. Bigfoot sightings on the bottom, missing persons on the top.
Exactly.
I mean, look how much they line up, and they're all generally in the same area. It's like, what are you supposed to do with that? You know what
that looks like? That looks like an outer space view of the populated areas of the United States with the lights, and
it does.
If we had like a overhead projector, like I'm sure many of us in the comments had, as well as I did in class, you could put one overlay, one over the next, and they would line up or overlap perfectly.
It's wild, man. It is so wild. Like even one of the missing 411 cases that we talked about on the show here, in Arkansas, there was, sightings really close to that area. And it just, why is that correlation there? Why are all the weird things there? Why do people just, disappear, or their clothes are folded or set somewhere, or, how does all this stuff happen? Like it just, that's what keeps you up at night. And I don't know, man. Hey, Bo's in the house. He says he's a coffee drinker himself. So Bo, you're a smart man. Jesus is King says he's on his 5th cup of Joe and filling it. Well, I get it.
Go up a couple comments until you see Heather Truman's comment.
All right, let me go back here and find it. It's hard to keep up. Love this channel. Only found it 5 weeks ago. You guys are addictive. Listening for the last 2 weeks daily. Thank you for all your hard work. That means a lot, guys. Like that really does mean a lot. Me and Daniel, we talk every single day, and you can better believe that it's something about Bigfoot or the show or something related to that. And we put a lot of work into this, but we love doing it. And, I work really hard to produce these interviews, and Daniel always gathers good information for these lives. So those kind of things go a long way for us. So thanks for that. That means a lot. So glad you guys are enjoying it.
And John Barfield said, Georgia in the house. Coffee rules. Hey, man, I got a question to ask you. When are you going to do that announcement as to why you're in Colorado?
I guess right now is a good time. So I've been working on something for a while. And if you guys don't know, I am a videographer. Me and my wife run a video production marketing company. We do a lot of marketing for different clients. We worked with Kirk Cameron last year. We've done a lot of neat stuff. Shot a lot of cool content over the years, but with this channel, I really, love doing this. And so we're trying to figure out a way we can do this more and continue to do this and things to grow. So talking about coffee, we're launching our very own Mysteries Unknown. If you can see that. I don't know if it'll focus because the lighting is terrible in here and I don't have my normal setup. Anyways, we're launching our very own Mysteries Unknown coffee. And so I'm in Colorado right now to take some brand photos and videos for the brand that we're going to be launching. Now, this bag is not the final bag. The logo, when they printed the label off, it wasn't quite right. So, but they ran out of time and we were hitting the road, so we had to take it. But anyways, I dropped a link inside the description of this video. Let me see if I can drop a link in the comments. So that's going to go to keep the show going, to keep giving guests on here. And so, does it taste like Folgers? It's better than Folgers. It's good. It's good stuff. That's hilarious. That is so funny. But I dropped the link in the comments there, and also the links in the description. And so it's good. It really is good coffee, and I wouldn't sell it if I hadn't. I've been drinking that coffee for a while, and it's really good coffee. It is a real good friend of mine, an acquaintance of mine that I've known for a while. They roasted all in house, and so we worked out a deal. And so, anyways, if you're a coffee drinker, check it out. We're working on doing a light roast. The label on this is a little bit, it's kind of scary. And so we're working on something maybe a little lighter, a light roast, more fun thing. But
and then a breakfast blend.
So it's more of a breakfast blend, but this is the Guatemala blend, and it's good. It's really smooth, guys. It's a little darker, but it's good stuff.
Bro, what I'm saying is do a dark, do a light, and do a breakfast blend or something like that. And then do that one picture you sent me, because that picture
is great, isn't it? Let me see if I can find it. Guys, I'm traveling, so I don't have all of my stuff all put together. And if I seem off tonight, it's because I am. We've been driving forever. And so, we had everything in the world trying to stop us from doing this show tonight. So I'm really surprised that we were able to get this off. But it's good coffee. It supports the channel. It helps me to be able to continue to produce this content. And so, it just helps all the way around, and it's good quality coffee. I'm trying to find this picture I sent him. It was a while back. But if you can find that, Daniel, send that to me, because I can't find it. I can't find it, but I will send it. I'll show a picture of what the label looks like. I do have a picture of that.
Let's see here. Yeah, I know it's way before our little meme war we had.
Yes. So here's the picture of for the load. So that's a better picture of the logo. Let me remove this comment so you guys can see that. But it should be. The bag will be a little bit different. It'll be black, and then the logo will be a little bit taller, a little bit wider. But anyways, pretty excited about that. Pretty excited about it. But it's funny because when we started this channel, I never thought in a million years that anything like that would happen. But, guys, this show does take a lot of effort, a lot of time, a lot of energy. I've got a very, 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 very patient wife that is very supportive.
Your wife's a saint.
Yeah, she's amazing. She's amazing. But if I can come here, Rick. Let me show you guys this. If I can get her up here, I'll show you my dog. Come here. I can't get her up here. Anyways, come here, Ray.
Your dog's like, no.
She's like, no, I'm too bashful. Anyways,
she's like, I didn't sign a waiver.
She didn't sign a waiver to be on the show. I'd love to put her on a bag of coffee because that would sell. Anyways, but so. Guys, this is all about just getting these stories out there. I mean, that's the big thing is I want people to have a safe platform to share these encounters, to get them out, because I know what it's like to tell your story and for somebody to not believe you. And that is a really hard thing to do. And so my goal is to just give people that place to be able to share that. And that is just, that's what we're trying to do. And these lives, me and Daniel were this was my wife's idea. It was whatever the eclipse was. I don't remember when that was.
Yeah.
But she's like, there's probably some correlation between Bigfoot and eclipse, and who knows what's going to happen. She goes, you and Daniel ought to do it live. And so I reached out to Daniel, and he'd been on the show, I think at that point 3 times. And everybody loves you on the show, man. They kept asking you to come back. So, these lives. No, it's true. It's absolutely true.
False news.
True news. And so, I couldn't do these lives without him, man. And we just have fun. And thanks for the comments and you guys being here. It means a lot because we love doing that. So Paul Power says, you guys are awesome, man. You're awesome. You really are. He is become one of my favorite encounters. I love listening to I've listened to your encounter several times, man. And it's good stuff. So.
Hey, I sent it to you in our chat, and then if you want to get that ready, I'll go ahead and read this short encounter. I was on Reddit today. I was pulling some stuff off of Reddit. So
yeah, absolutely. Thanks for sending it to me. Yeah. So this is this is something we're working on for a lot of roast, and if I can get
breakfast
this to
blend.
Yeah. So pretty funny, man. I think this one would I think people would love this one. All right. I'm just going to show that when he gets that pulled up.
Okay.
And, all right, hang on. So let me know your thoughts on the logo. Let me know what you guys think about a breakfast blend. and that would be that's the label. So it's pretty funny.
That is great.
I think it's great, man. I think it's great. So, anyways, if you guys want to check that out, want to check out the coffee, links in the description. Links also in the description of the video. So, enough about that. Let's get back to the stories, man.
Hey, AO, the coffee is not available right now.
It is available right now.
Oh, it is?
No,
Well,
the first one is not the breakfast blend.
Yeah, she's saying there's trying to buy the coffee, but it won't let me check out. There's an error. I'm sorry to tell you that.
Oh no. Well, that's not good, but hey, that's how we find this stuff out. So I'm gonna go in here and see what the deal is with that. So if you click on that, you got to pick the blend of coffee and whether you want ground or whole bean, and then you should be able to go to the next page. So
I think you get more for your buck if you get ground, right?
Yeah, you do get better. You get a better deal if you get ground. I think ground's better. You can pay through PayPal, pay letter. You can add a debit or credit card. So pretty simple to check out. So it should be good to go. But let me know, guys, if you have any problems. Also, you can email me, mysteriesunknownpodcast@gmail.com if you want that link, and I'll send that over to you. So,
Perfect.
All right. Let's get into this story, man.
All right, here we go. So again, I pulled these off of Reddit. So this story goes, for some context, I'm a 21-year-old male. I was about 18 at the time of the sighting and looking at working in ecology and wildlife management for indigenous nations. I'm an avid hunter and fisherman. Grew up on a ranch in southern Alberta. I've seen a lot of things. This was a first. I'm currently living in Port Qualitalam, which is not far from Harrison Lake. Harrison Lake is commonly known as the Sasquatch hotspot of North America, and as such, there's been many sightings in this area of BC. No, Washington State, I'm sorry, has more sightings in North America than any place else.
Yes. Yeah.
It was March 17th, 2020 at around 8 a.m. and I was out for a drive from Port. See, it's these Canadian names.
I know, man.
I'll call Coquitlam. That's what I'll call it because that's what it looks like. Coquitlam. To E.C. Manning Provincial Park. I decided to take a small detour near Stave Lake, a slightly smaller lake not too far from Harrison, and the power center dam beside it. I was driving alongside the footpath on my way up, and I slowed down when I saw what looked like to be a bear sitting down, eating grass. We don't have grizzlies in the area and haven't for decades, but I could see the usual silver tip look they usually have. We only have black bears, so I was curious. I stopped the car and sat on the hood and watched it for a little bit, grabbing a pair of binoculars and looking at it from about 100 meters off. That is not far away. When I looked through the binoculars, I could tell it wasn't a grizzly. It stood up, turned its whole body around, and looked at me. The proportions were off. Arms were too long, torso too wide. It had no neck, and the head looked similar to a gorilla's, but not quite. It had these large eyes with a wide nose, sort of like a person's, but again, not quite. I got into my car and got out of there immediately. If I had to guess, it was roughly 7 to 8 feet tall, 3.5 to 4 feet wide, and probably around 600 pounds. I've told my grandmother about it and have mentioned it to 1 or 2 Sasquatch groups, but that's all. I've done a sketch over existing pieces of Sasquatch art I had found to replicate what I saw and can show the locations of the footprints. So
Wow.
those Canadians, I'm telling you. Oh, you see
That's
this?
wild, man.
We've got gifted memberships going on.
Oh, that's so awesome. Hey,
Wow.
thank you. Wow.
That's a first.
That's nobody's done that. That's the very first. So that's pretty amazing. That's pretty amazing. I don't know. You guys are awesome. We have a really, really, really amazing community. And, one of the comments that somebody said the other day, matter of fact, it was Lewis. He shared his story Monday, and he was talking about how he loved the community here and how respectful they were. And, we can't catch every comment, but I try really hard to keep an eye on that and to make sure that nothing's getting out of hand, just because, we want you guys to have a safe place to share these encounters. And that's what this is really about. So when people do stuff like that, it really helps. And it just, I don't know what to say except for thank you. It's still weird to me that people care so much to do that stuff. And I'm just so very humbled and grateful, man. Thank you is all I can say. That's really awesome. That's really cool. So
That is awesome.
Yeah, that is all. I got to respond to Wade Fisher Outdoors. Wade, he said he emailed me the other day that a picture he took. I got your email. I promise. Things have been so chaotic. I have not had a chance to respond. A lot of you guys have emailed me. I have not had a chance to respond. A lot of crazy stuff going on in our lives right now, but we definitely will. I promise I will get to you. I respond to every single email. They matter a lot to me, so I will definitely do that. And just as a reminder, guys, if you've joined the $2.99 or above tier on the membership, make sure that you send me your address, because towards the end of the month, we're going to be shipping these things out. We extended this out for 10 more days. So if you join anything $2.99 or above tonight, send me your address. My wife has put together a gift packet. It's just something simple, nothing major, but just something we want to say thank you. And you guys are awesome. So what do you say about getting into some of our encounters, man?
No, I'm down for it. Are you guys down for it?
I think they wanted to hear it, but I think that somebody asked earlier, and I can't remember who asked, but they asked a question about the correlation between Bigfoot and UFOs, and I was going to talk about that. But before I do, man, since I'm in Colorado, I found a doozy of a dogman encounter. I guess you can tell I'm from the South. A doozy of a dogman encounter. But I found a crazy dogman encounter from Prowers County, Colorado. I have no idea where that's at. It could be where I'm at. I have no idea where that county's at. But if you guys want to hear that story first, or my story, or Daniel's story first, if you want to hear mine first, leave a 1. If you want to hear Daniel's, leave a 2. And if you want to hear this dogman encounter, leave a 3. And we'll read whoever gives the most comments.
Go spill it, Josh.
Spill it. Okay. Well, I probably will tell mine then, because with a comment like that, I kind of have to. So now she says 3. Taff says 1. All right. So now Taff was at the very location that one of my encounters happened. He wasn't there physically, but he was the first person I ever talked to when I did my show. And it's been over a year ago. But Taff, I'm glad you're here, man. It's nice to hear have the support. But anyways, so I have to go all the way back. I'm 45 now. I was 14 years old.
So old.
I'm old, man. I'm old as dirt. But hey, listen, old, that just means wisdom, right? Age is wisdom. But so anyways, I was 14 years old. I grew up in a pretty rural community in Arkansas. I'm not going to say where, just because I don't want people showing up on the property and looking for this stuff. But basically, it's rural Arkansas, really close to the national forest. And we grew up really, really, really poor. And my dad worked really hard to provide for us. I still don't know how he did some of the things he did. One of the most hardest working men I've ever met. And thankful to call him dad. But so we had this house that he built. He'd found a way to buy some property. And so built a house, built it by himself pretty much, built the foundation, did all this stuff. And so we bought this. I think I was probably lived on the property till I was probably 15. So lived there a long time, maybe even earlier than that. Maybe I was younger than that. But anyways, behind my property, there was a bunch of trees. And back behind there there was some railroad tracks, and behind there was just I mean, fields full of just, it goes on forever at the time. A lot of Indian artifacts you could find on the property. You could find arrowheads. You could find a lot of different stuff like that. So really cool place to grow up. My dad let me spend a lot of time in the woods, and I'm just, I had the best childhood. But anyways, it's about 14 years old, and it had to be the wintertime because it had gotten dark pretty early. And I remember that my parents had left and started to leave me alone by myself, about that age when they do that. And so my dad built this house, and the ground sloped down, and then he built a deck off the back of the house. And there was some big sliding glass windows. And when you came from the kitchen, you walked into the living room, you just saw right out into the backyard. There was no lights back there. But the moon was really, really bright that night. I do remember that. And the tree line was about 20 feet out, something like that. And so if I looked out the back of my window, you could see over the top rail of the porch. And that was to the top rail was about 6 foot. So anyways, I'm standing there, and I just happened to look, and something caught my attention, and I stopped, and I looked out that window, and here comes this black figure coming out of the tree line. And it didn't float, but it just was smooth. It was very smooth out of the tree line, and it stopped. And I stopped, and I look at this thing, and it's looking at me, and we just lock eyes. And I say eyes, but I couldn't see its eyes. It was more of a silhouette. And so I stood there for I don't know how long. I can't tell you how long it was. And I stood there looking at this thing. It could have easily come through the window. It could have easily, done whatever. But something dropped in my mind to go get my dad's shotgun. And so I did. I went and got my dad's shotgun. And I figured by the time I got back, this thing would be gone. But that dropped in my mind to do that. Spent a lot of time hunting, things like that. Very familiar with guns. Go back, and it was a 410 shotgun. Wouldn't have done anything, but I put some buckshot in it, or a slug. I can't remember. Anyways, chambered it, and this thing just turned really slow, and I mean really slow, like it was in no hurry, and just walked right back into the tree line. The whole encounter, I don't know how long it lasted, but it really shook me to the core. I didn't tell my dad, I didn't tell my mom, I didn't tell anybody, and I buried it. I absolutely buried it until an encounter that I had with my wife years later, about 6 years ago now, 5-6 years ago. And so, yeah, it's funny how your mind will do that. There's more to that story. I have other things that I'm working on and that I want to tell. Eventually, I want to sink my teeth into this and produce a documentary for this channel. I've shot a lot of different stuff like that. I tell people stories every single day with our company, and I want to do that for this channel. And if you guys would like to see a documentary on that, let me know. Drop it in the comments. So did I go into the woods after that? Yeah. Also, too, if you have any questions, make sure to leave them in the comment. I'll address them right now. But yes, I did. It took me a while, but I went out in the woods. I spent some time out into the woods, and I'll just tell you the other part of the story. I don't share this part as often, just because it was pretty traumatizing. But so my dad bought me a four-wheeler about a year later, probably. Again, I don't know how he did that. I have no idea how he did that, come up with the funds to do that. But he brought it home one day, showed it up, and that was freedom for me. And I've had, several different weird things happen in that area, all within probably a 5-mile radius. But so we're out riding as kids do. And, back then you didn't have cell phones. You didn't, you just went out for the day and you knew to be home. And so we found this shell pit. In Arkansas, there's a lot of shell pits. And we found this old tire in this shell pit. And there was 3 of us there, 3 or 4. I can't remember, but there were 3 four-wheelers there. I don't remember if one of the guys had a rider with him or not. But this pit, you could be inside of this pit, and there was trees all around it. And it was about 6 foot tall, probably something like that. So we were on this tire. We were spinning each other around and just having a really good time. And we stopped, and we were all sitting on our four-wheelers. And I look up, and there's that same creature standing on the ledge coming out of the woods, the same type of thing. And we just jumped on our four-wheelers and left. Still to this day, we've never talked about it. I only talked to one of those guys now. We're still friends, but we've never talked about it. He's never brought it up, and I haven't either. And so it was pretty scary. You know, it definitely changed me as a kid. I'd forgotten about it. You know, after that, I buried it and I didn't remember it till years later. But yeah, but that happened probably less than 2 miles from my house, probably. So pretty crazy.
Do you realize that you did not tell me about any of your encounters until probably, I don't know, a lot?
Yeah. I never want to make this show about me. And that was the whole thing, is like, I don't want it to be, I never wanted it to be about me. And this is about you guys, about your stories, about all those kind of things. But I think the more I've done this, the more I realize that, you know, these kind of encounters need to be like, people need to hear about them. And if I can use the tools that God's given me to produce something like that, then I should do it. Because unfortunately, and this is not a knock on anybody that's shot documentaries or done this in this Bigfoot world. It's not a knock on anybody, but it's a lot of really low quality stuff, and it does not add credibility to these stories. It makes them look, you know what I mean, Daniel? Like, it doesn't help. And so,
well, I have no filter, and I'm just going to say what I'm going to say. A lot of that stuff out there's crap.
It is,
for
man.
real.
It is, and the quality is crap. It looks terrible. It makes people in our community sound really bad. And so, I want to change that. You know, I want to be able to bring and guys, listen, I've been very blessed to do what I do. It gives me the time to spend with my wife. You know, we get to work together, and I'm very blessed to do this. And so I want to take those skills and apply that at it. And so it's one of the reasons I haven't done it is I need to get Daniel down here so he can be there with me so we can do this thing. But there's a lot of moving parts, because if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it right. I'm not going to mess around with it. I'm either going to do it and give it everything I got, or I'm not going to do it. So that's in the works. You know, I'm working kind of on a script, kind of sort of messing with that a little bit when I have time. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. But Chio Rio God is good, man. He's so good. And so, anyways, enough about me, man. Do you guys want to hear this Dogman encounter? Or do you want to hear some of Daniel's stuff? Because Daniel has had some incredible encounters. I remember the first time he came on the show and he shared that encounter with me. You know, for one, he stuck out to me, and I was like, this guy, I'll never forget this guy. And then two, his story was very credible and very believable. And I knew I had to have him back on the show. And so, yeah. Taft the Warner says 2. You know what's funny, Taft? I can't remember what 2 was for. It's been a long day, guys. I've been at it. I've been driving since.
How about we do this? How about I read another one of these stories?
Works for me.
And then I don't know. Okay, Janet, I'll take a look at that. I don't know which one to tell. Do I tell my I've only had one sighting, but I've had multiple encounters. I think the earliest encounter that I had, I want to say I was 7 maybe. And then the last one I had when I was 20. And I don't really want to tell that one. That one was with my little brother. Yeah. That one was with my little brother. So
I tell you, just share one, man. Just share one. I know that one's very, very, very emotional. So
it's on here. So if you guys want to see it, then it's on here. But
I don't remember which one it is. But guys, go back there and check it out, because it's a very emotional encounter. So.
Well, I caught some flack. I caught some flack saying that they were crocodile tears. They were made up tears.
Yeah, but you know what, man? The thing of it is, dude, is the thing about you that I've always admired is you are real, and that's the thing, is you're real, and you can't I don't know, man. You can't. I'd rather somebody be real and show emotion than somebody to just try to hide all that. You know, I just don't, so I'm all for it, man. I'm all for you doing that. And, hey, we got a friend of mine in the chat, Patent Legal Services. What's up, man? He's got a channel, guys, that is all about, if you love sovereign citizens and some of the stupid stuff that they do, some of them, you need to go check his channel out. He calls them out. It's really good, man. It's good content. So you need to check him out. And let's see here. And also, too, I got a relative of mine, Frida Positive Drops. Guys, go check her out, too. She's all about God's word, positive stuff. She's a great lady. Great lady. So glad you were here. I'll make sure to tell Stacy you said hi. So, but
Hey,
it's awesome to have some people we know in the chat.
It is. I don't have any of my people in the chat, which
You did
the
last time,
live, yeah, and I didn't expect it. I got all emotional.
You did, but hey, you know, let me adjust
Pat,
my eyes. So it's getting dark in here.
Pat, let me ask you a question. So, when on your channel are these sovereign citizens? Are those clowns that refuse to roll the window down too far, and then
Yep.
try to goad the officer into doing something, and then
Yep.
yeah, they play dumb
That's
games so
them.
they win dumb prizes.
That's them. Yep.
Oh,
Listen,
I can't get enough of
we
those.
we know all about that, don't we, man? We've dealt with
Yeah.
our fair share. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay, so let me read this one.
Okay.
Okay. So this is
Wait, I gotta tell you, wait before you do though. Taft says he'll be your people tonight there, Daniel. So there you go.
Thanks, brother. I appreciate that.
That's great.
Did that come through loud and clear?
It did. Loud and clear.
I love this mic because I don't really have to speak that loud. Can you guys hear me?
No, it's good. It's good, man. It's good.
Man,
it's really good.
I ever spent, man, for real.
Yeah, it's good. It's really good.
Okay. Hey, Mr. Duffy81 is in the house.
It's always good to see him. He says his license plate says Sovereign.
Sweet.
Oh, that's hilarious, man. That's so funny.
Y'all ready for this one?
Yeah, let's do it, man. Let's do it.
In 1992, my uncle owned about 150 acres of land in a remote area of eastern Tennessee. On his land, he had a large fishing pond and a stream running through it, and he used to leave lines out at night to pull in the big catfish. This pond was accessible by two smaller game trails through thick patches of woods, and he would need to drive to the trail entrances from his house near the front of the property and walk about a half a mile in with all of his gear, nothing but a headlamp for a light. This was something he did pretty often, and my uncle was a lover of the outdoors, so this was business as usual for him. Not to mention, he's a Vietnam veteran as well. Anyway, this particular night in July of 1992, he went down to the fishing pond at about 9:30 to check his lines. As he was doing so, he heard a loud splash and assumed it was a fish jumping. He carried on with what he was doing, and then he heard a low guttural groan and what he described as monkeys fighting just on the other side of the pond. It was about 70 yards across. Multiple loud splashes occurred, and he also heard a loud crash in the woods just yards away to his left. He talked about how he immediately felt a sense of panic and was attempting to get visuals using his headlamp, but whatever was producing these sounds was behind tree cover. He said that the woods then erupted in a continuous sounds of fighting monkeys, and he opted to drop his gear and run down the trail towards his truck. Apparently, even in his adrenaline-fueled state, he could hear footfall on his left as he was being hunted. He got to his truck and hauled his butt out of there to the road and then back to his house, which, mind you, sits on the property about 6 miles away. He went inside and locked every window and door. He grabbed his gun and stayed up and was vigilant the entire night, but nothing more occurred. He called my dad the next day, who sort of just laughed it off. Well, for my uncle, whatever he experienced scared him so badly that he put his land up for sale and sold it a few months later. Until he died in 2017, he maintained that he believed that he walked into a group of Sasquatch, and they erupted into territorial displays to get him out of there. He never enjoyed the outdoors after that. This wasn't a man who I took for a liar.
Wow, man. I don't know which one I'm more impressed with, though, that story or your accent. I don't know.
I kind of messed it up a little bit.
Oh, no, wait. No, check this comment out. Mr. Duffy says the only thing that would be better if he was juggling a flaming bowling pins while reading it in an accent on a unicycle. But that's asking a bit too much.
Well, like I said, I lived in Tennessee for a while.
Great.
I got family from West Virginia. I lived in Florida for a short time, but I pretty much just grew up around Washington State. But I've been here in Minnesota since '98.
That's a long time, man. But you never lose that. You never lose that accent. I could probably move anywhere and still have the Arkansas accent. But anyways, crazy story, man. Crazy story. It's crazy to me when you start reading these stuff and you hear about these encounters and you talk to people, how similar some of this stuff is, man. Like people that don't know each other, people that have never talked, but there's something from everybody's story, not everybody's, but a lot of people's stories that just kind of line up and match. So it's pretty crazy. But I will say one thing, Daniel, you've kind of set the bar really high from now on. When you read stories, you'll probably have to read it with an accent because that's what they expect. So.
Well, only if it's like from down south, because the next one I have is from Ohio.
No, well, yeah, you can't do that.
I don't know how an Ohio accent goes. I mean, I know there was a guy I was stationed with. He was from Ohio, and I asked him. I go, where are you from? What are you Amish? Because there was an incident, that had happened, and he was mesmerized by it by a microwave. And he goes, "No, I'm from Ohio." And I'm like, "From where?"
Wow.
"I'm from Ohio." I'm like, "You're from Ohio?" "That's what I said. I'm from Ohio." I'm like, "All right, man."
I tell you, man, my dad grew up in Ohio. That's where he grew up at. And I spent a lot of time as a kid up there. And I lived up there one summer. And I remember when I first moved there, I think I was 17 or 18. Nobody could understand me. And they were like, they just wanted to sit and listen to me talk because I sounded like a hillbilly, I guess. I don't know, but they just couldn't understand anything I was saying. And but I remember that you didn't wave at people up there like you do down south. If you're driving,
Nope.
You don't talk to people, you don't wave at people, you don't none of that. And
Shot.
I know, and I didn't like that because down where I grew up, you wave at everybody. If somebody is broke down on the side of the road, you stop and you help them. And heck, we would borrow food from our neighbors or salt or an egg, or my mom would send us over for a cup of milk and butter. And you just, you don't do that, I guess, there. I don't know, but different area. But Flower Child says she's from Oklahoma. She says, "Hey, everybody." Or I think she says, "Hey, y'all."
Hey, y'all.
So,
yeah, I say y'all, I say youngins, I say fixin'.
Yeah.
And when I'm talking, y'all want to go do some of this, or I'm fixing to go do this, or y'all get up on out of here.
That's so funny. Guys, we have been all over the place tonight, and I did not have any of this together. I am exhausted from the drive, but wanted to get a live out tonight and share some of this stuff with you guys because, we like hanging out with you guys and appreciate all the support. So Pat says, "Loving the channel." Thanks, man. I appreciate it. You guys go check out his channel. He's got some good stuff on there.
Hey,
he's got some really good stuff.
Mr. Duffy, that is 100% true. Because when I was stationed over in Germany, all I do is I'd turn on this X. I said, "How y'all doing over there? Come here, girl. Come here, let me tell you something. You want me to buy you a drink? I'll get you a beer if you need a beer." Next thing you know, the future ex-wife of Mr. Hamilton. No, I'm just kidding.
That's so funny.
Oh, bless your heart. That's right. That's how you see. Bless your heart does not necessarily mean bless your heart.
That's right. That is true. There's
down south.
There's some hidden stuff.
"Oh, bless your heart." That means, "Oh, you're just a dummy," or "You're an idiot."
Yeah. That's pretty much what that means.
You're
pretty
so
much
stupid.
what that means. Oh, that's so funny. Well, listen, I've just got to tell everybody, I am not quite out of coffee, but my brain is done. I am so tired. We left the house yesterday and we drove until like 10:30, I think, and got up and drove all day today. So I'm going to be heading out of here in the next probably 10 minutes. So let's get your story out there. I really want people to hear your encounter, man, because I'm exhausted and I don't want to be accountable for something I say on this live when I am not. I am not
I don't blame you, dude.
there. I am so tired, man.
You drove from your house to where you are in like
pretty fast. Like I think I drove 11 hours straight, something like that, 12 hours straight. And then we got up today and drove another 5 hours, something like that. And I am literally, we went, got something to eat, got into the hotel room, and we had the debacle with everybody's phones, and then I come in here, the internet's not working, and so guys, this is our typical. It's exactly right. But so if this isn't your typical live, we normally go for about 2 hours. We always have a good time, and we talk about everything cryptid related, and so, we love talking to you guys and so glad that you guys are here with us and just part of this journey and the support and everything. I'm just still very humbled by all of it. But, man, before we get out of here, why don't you tell them a short part of your story, man?
Sure. Well, you know what that means, though.
Haven't heard it.
You know what that means, though? That means we're going to have to do another live, like, really soon.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we're going to try to – he took a vacation first, then I went on vacation – /work, and so but we're going to get back on a schedule and get some more of these out. But I am spent, man. I am so tired.
All right, so I'll tell just want me to tell about the one where it hit my camper.
Yeah, just tell them that. That's okay. So because that's crazy.
So this you guys, this happened in Graham, Washington, like 1984. So I was about 12 years old. And this happened before I had my sighting. This happened probably a month or two before I had my sighting. So the area was getting hit just by a massive storm. And, think of all of the thunder, all the lightning, all the rain, like literally sheets of rain coming down. And we lived in a fifth wheel. Now, if anybody doesn't know what a fifth wheel is, it's a camper that you tow behind a truck, but you need to have a certain type of hookup, kind of like a semi truck, one of those type of hookups in the bed of your truck. My dad had bought this land. He took the camper, the fifth wheel, moved it out on the land, built a really nice sized deck around it, built a shed on the side of it, and he did all of this pretty much. He moved it and built the deck in a week while my brother and I were in Tacoma, Washington, visiting my aunt. Well, anyway, so it's probably 1:32, maybe 3 o'clock in the morning, and I'm awake because I hear the lightning. I see the lightning. I hear the thunder. The booming is making the fifth wheel shake. My dad did a great job at anchoring it down. It was up on cement blocks. The anchors were driven deep into the ground. So, if a tornado came through the house, the camper would disintegrate and probably everything else would still be there. All right. So as I'm laying there, my window, I slept in a twin bed up in the upper part of the fifth wheel. And as I'm laying there, my side of the bed, where my bed was facing the woods and where the shed was. And there was a tree that was about 25, maybe 30 feet away from the camper. Why my dad didn't cut it down, I don't know. So as I'm laying there, I'm just getting ready. I feel like I'm going to fall asleep. And then I feel I'm rolling out of my bed. Now, our fifth wheel went like this. It tilted like this, like almost on its side, and then came back down. And when it came back down, I looked out the window. I pulled the curtain back, and I saw this massive thing. Just as lightning had flashed in the sky, I saw this massive thing walking into the woods, and I freaked out. And my dad was like, what the was this? And I go, Dad, it was a GD Bigfoot. He's like, don't say that word. I go, Dad, it was a GD Bigfoot. He's like, don't say that word. I go, Dad, it was Bigfoot. And my brother didn't wake up at all. He stayed asleep the entire time. The next morning, we got up. Well, that morning we got up, and it was light outside. My dad's walking around. He's looking to see what's going on. And I go, Dad, it walked underneath that tree right there. And I showed him, and he's like, well, how high was it? I go, Dad, it walked, its head almost touched that branch. And the branch was like a good 7 to 8 feet up. And I said, its head almost touched that branch. And he's like, Daniel, that's not possible. I go, Dad, I'm telling you, a Bigfoot hit our camper last night, hit the trailer last night. And we're looking around. The rain had saturated everything. If there were any prints, they got washed away. But when we turned around, because we were looking at where I said it had walked into the woods, we turned around. My dad is like, oh my gosh. And right probably about 6.5 feet up on our camper, where was this massive dent. Like something had ran at it and just slammed into it as hard as it could, trying to push it over. The anchor straps in that area were ripped completely out of the ground. The concrete blocks that it was sitting on were just, you saw cracks. Some of them were crumbled. And my dad just was like, what could it be? And my brother comes out and he's like, what are you guys talking about? And I said, I was getting ready to tell him that a Bigfoot hit the house, but my dad said, real quick, interrupted and said, a tree branch hit the house. And my brother's like, oh, okay. And then he just went back into the camper and did what he needed to do. But that was the beginning of the action that we started noticing in that area on that property. And like I said, it was a couple months later, coming home from Tacoma, Washington, driving down a long gravel road, when I saw her.
Guys, that story gives me chills every time you tell it, man. I can just imagine you as a kid sitting in that camper, that fifth wheel, and all that going on, man. And just, I don't know, man. That really, it got me the first time you told me. I mean, I believed you right off the bat. So, I mean, it's a pretty incredible encounter. And guys, if you've not heard the whole thing or heard Daniel's encounters on the channel, you need to go listen to them because they are some of the best. Some of the best. I should probably put together a Daniel playlist is what I need to do because they're so good. They're good, man. They're really good. They're really good. But anyways, I don't know, man. There's some crazy stuff that happens out there, man.
Oh, remember there was a time I told you to take all my stuff down.
I know, man. I couldn't. I mean, if you'd have told me like, no, take them down, I would have. But I was like, don't take them down because you think they're not good, man. Everybody enjoys them. They all love it. So, and that this comment sums it up right there. I saw her face, then now I'm a believer.
I saw her face.
You did.
And I'm a believer. Absolutely.
So, hey, before we get off here, though, I do have something that I do want to do. Just because Daniel's a guy of many talents. If you guys have a birthday coming up, send me an email if you've got a birthday coming up. And on the next live, I'm going to give that email to Daniel, and he's going to sing you guys happy birthday on the next live.
Hey, I'll sing you. I'll sing you one part, just like one little line of this story. Okay. Ready?
Yeah.
I was frozen with fear, and I didn't know what to do. I felt like forever, but it was only about 20 seconds long. Before it took my hand, I ran away to my tent. I thought I was walking, but then I tripped and fell. There you go.
Oh, my gosh, man. Daniel.
That's not good.
You're killing me. It's good, man. You guys got sung to sleep by Daniel. That's great. What else can you ask for with this show? You're going to get Bigfoot. You're going to get cryptids, Dogman, jokes. Daniel's going to sing to you cop stories. I mean, what else can you guess? And I guess, Daniel, I didn't even ask you if you would do that, but you're such a great guy. I just figured you would. So,
well, I'll send you my invoice.
Do it, man. Do it.
Yeah, they're wanting that link to the coffee again.
Oh yeah, well, let me send it real quick. Let me send the link, and it is working. So, hang on, let me drop it in the link. Yeah, I'll say that. Let me do it here. It's also in the description of the video. After this is over, guys, if you can't find it in the description, it is there at the bottom. So let me put it in the description here. Really, really, really good coffee. It's good quality stuff. So you won't be disappointed. It's pretty smooth. But let's see. Chio Rio says it's an all-in-one kind of program channel. Pretty much, man. Flower Child says you got a good voice, Daniel.
I appreciate
and
that.
And then Jesus is King says, what vibrato? That's pretty good, man.
Also,
that's great. Oh, that's great. And then Papa Power says you'd be a great camping partner. I believe that, man. I believe that. One of these days, we're going to go out and we're going to get boots on the ground and do some stuff. But let's see, what info do you need for members who just joined? So if you just joined, make sure you email me at mysteriesunknownpodcast@gmail.com. Send me your address, and then I will send you guys a notification when we ship this stuff off. Guys, we just wanted to do something. My wife wanted to do something really small just to say thanks for all the support. So we announced that last month, but we'll have those things out. Should have them out by the end of the month. So just hang with us. But you guys got 10 more days to join, and we'll send you out a little care package just to say thanks. You guys are awesome, and we appreciate you guys being here. But Daniel, you got anything else, man?
I don't, man. I'm just glad you got your internet working. Most of all, I'm glad you guys got there safe, and I just hope you guys get enough rest and enough peace, and well, just enjoy the the. You guys are like in an amazing area. Just take it all in and just unplug if you need to and get away. Well, don't unplug too long. Just
no, I won't. I can't.
I got to talk to you every day, man.
I know. No, I can't unplug too long. I promise. But we're gonna be dropping some content. We got some stuff working for the coffee. Working on a website right now. So the Mysteries Unknown podcast website. So got the domain name purchased. We're gonna put the store on there so you guys can purchase the coffee from the store if you want to on the website, and doing a lot of that stuff. So my wife is handling all of that. She's running that coffee. That is her deal. And we're just wanting to drop it tonight so you guys know about it. But if you have any questions or you need anything, send me an email, mysteriesunknownpodcast@gmail.com. But I'm going to go get some rest, man.
Do you see what they're saying? They're saying they got a commercial during the live.
Did they really?
Yeah. Yeah, I saw a commercial a couple times because I have it up on my other screen.
It could be because I am just really tired and messed something up. I don't know. But I don't want any commercials going on during the live, so I'll try to see if I can't address that because that shouldn't be happening. So, yeah,
you got anything?
I'm done. I'm done. Just guys, I'm going to say. I'm always going to say it, man. Stay prayed up. It's so very, very, very important, and be careful out there. Let us know if you see something. Send us an email, and we'll see you in the next live, guys. Monday. Don't forget Monday's episode. Really incredible Dogman encounter. It's going to be dropping about 11:30. You don't want to miss that one. That one's pretty scary, so it's good stuff.
Hey, what are you going to do with that interview? What are you going to do with that interview that you have on Monday as well?
Oh, man. I'm excited about that. You guys just have to wait.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. You just have to wait and see. It's going to be good. It's going to be good. All right. I'm out, man.
I'm out too, brother.
All right. See you guys.
Love you guys. Thanks for stopping by.